asynchronous class. Today we are going to deal with town and country. This is the title of our unit. Today we are going to deal with reading comprehension. We have an article, Unit 8, Lesson 3 in your workbook, pages 54 and 55. So let's begin. Ice breaking. I want you to look at these figures and numbers. Look at the first figure and the number 9. Look at the second one, the second figure and the number 1. Look at the fourth figure. Which number should you write? Think carefully, look at the figures and think. Then you can figure out the correct number. Of course, the correct number is 4. Pre-reading. New vocabulary. Let's deal with the new vocabulary items, then we can move on to the article.
Contentment.
Contentment. The state of being happy and satisfied. They finally found contentment in living a simple, quiet life. There is a famous saying, silence gives consent. So when you agree to something, the feeling you have is called contentment. It means happy and satisfied.
Crown jewel.
Crown jewel. Look at the crown jewel, the biggest one. The most valuable thing that a person or place has. The Mona Lisa portrait is the crown jewel of the Louvre Museum in Paris.
Demarcation.
Demarcation. The point at which one area of work or responsibility ends and another begins. You know North Korea and South Korea. Look at the demarcation line between the two countries. On this map, the line of demarcation between regions is shown in red.
Skyline.
Skyline. The shape made by hills or buildings against the sky. The Eiffel Tower is the most visible part of Paris. City skyline. As here in Kuwait, the Kuwait Towers are the most visible part of Kuwait city skyline.
Vertical.
Vertical. Look at these vertical buildings. Look at these vertical buildings. They are called vertical villages. Vertical villages. Each one is called vertical village. The same amount of people occupy in a village, but in one tall building. Building vertical villages is one of the most effective solutions to combat population growth. This is page 54. Look at the article we are going to deal with. Workbook page 54. Look at the title of the module, lifestyles, and then the title of Unit 8, Town and Country. But the title of this article is Silk City. Look at the title of the article. It's on top of the article, Silk City. So please open your workbooks on page 54 and let's begin. Pre-reading means before reading. We are going to deal with speaking. Let's watch this video and then we'll try to answer a few questions. Future Kuwait, largest mega projects by 2035. Of course, it is about the Silk City in Kuwait. Okay, after you have seen the video, let's take a look at this table and the instructions. Complete the following table. Name of the project, location, and expectations. Let's begin with the name of the project. Do you know what the name of the project is? Here we have space and then the word city. So what are you going to write here? Yes, of course, Silk City. Location, as you have seen on the video, located across the bay from Kuwait City. Expectations, create many jobs. Of course, this will happen in the future. It will create many jobs. Offer a lot of houses. Let's move on to exercise 1 on your workbook, page 54. Look at the instructions before reading the article. Silk City, match these words A to F with their meanings. 1 to 8, there are 2 extra meanings. So the words are, look, A, B, C, D, E, F, 6 words, and the meanings are 8. So there are 2 extra meanings. Look at the words crown jewel, inception, demarcate, traverse, meticulously, skyline. And now we look at the meanings to separate or distinguish. The outline of buildings defined against the horizon, the infrastructure of a city, carefully and precisely, the establishment or starting point of something, the process of designing something, a prize, asset, or achievement to travel across or through. So let's take a look at crown jewel. Crown jewel, a prize, asset, or achievement. Inception. Then you scan the meanings and try to find out the correct meaning of inception. Of course, the establishment or starting point of something. Demarcate. Demarcate. To separate or distinguish. Demarcate is a verb here. We have studied the word demarcation, which is a noun, and now here demarcate is the verb. Traverse. Traverse also is a verb. The meaning to travel across or through. Meticulously, meticulously, carefully and precisely. Meticulously is an adverb. Skyline. Skyline is a noun, and the meaning is the outline of buildings defined against the horizon. Now we have while reading activity. This is the article. Look at the article, the Silk City. Look at the instructions first. Read the article and answer these questions. So we want to take a look. We want to take a look at the three questions A, B, and C, and then we will scan the article and find answers. Why is the city being built? They are, of course, talking about Silk City. How will the population of Madinat al-Harir be kept happy? What is exceptional about Burj Mbarak al-Kabir? Now, take a look at the article, scan it, and try to find answers. I think it's not so hard to find the answers. Why is the city being built? To establish Kuwait as a commercial hub and to provide housing and jobs. How will the population of Madinat al-Harir be kept happy? You go back to the article, scan it, and find the answer. To ensure their happiness, people will always be near water or greenery. What is exceptional about Burj Mbarak al-Kabir? It is 1001 meters tall, 200 stories, and it also houses 7 vertical villages. Now we move on to workbook page 55. On page 55, we have exercise 3. Look at exercise 3. Let's read the instructions first. Use the words in the box taken from the article to complete the following sentences. So here we have 6 words. They are taken from the article, and we have also 6 sentences. We are going to complete the 6 sentences using the 6 given words. Innovative, habitation, crown jewel, residential, financial, amenities. So these are the 6 words. Let's take a look at the sentences. We'll read each sentence and try to find out the word which completes the meaning. Look at item A. The area is where people live. Where people live. So, which area? Residential area. B. Banks and other similar institutions can be found in the sector. In which sector can we find banks? Of course, financial sector. The local include parks, swimming pools, and other leisure areas. Parks, swimming pools, and other leisure areas are called amenities. Despite, look at item D now, despite being in constant use, the building showed little sign of, as if nobody's living there, habitation. The new transport system is extremely modern and innovative. The last sentence, item F. The new tower will be the of this huge city crown jewel. Let's move on to exercise 4. Exercise 4, let's read the instructions first. Choose the correct answer with reference to the article. Let's look at item A and the multiple choice statements. Which of these statements about Silk City are not true? So we are going to choose the statement which is not true. Let's look at the 3 statements. Every aspect of Silk City has been designed and thought out carefully. 2, the city will house 700,000 people. 3, the only aim of the city is to establish Kuwait as a major commercial hub. Now you go back to the article, scan it, and try to find out the not true statement. The only aim of the city is to establish Kuwait as a major commercial hub. If you take a look at the article, you find out that this statement is correct, but this is not the only aim. There are other aims. That's why this statement is incorrect. You see, it's not correct because this is not the only aim. This is one of the aims. Let's move on to B, item B. Which of these statements about Silk City is true? Now we are going to find out the true statement, the statement which is true. Water and plant life are used to create a pleasant environment. 2, the inorganic. Inorganic is the opposite of organic. The inorganic design of the city will be oppressive. Residential, financial, and commercial buildings are combined in each sector. Of course, the correct statement is water and plant life are used to create a pleasant environment. Let's move on to item C. What is the best definition of organic as used in the text? So we want the meaning as it is used in the text. You can go back to the text, read, scan the text, find the word organic, and try to contextualize. Try to deduce the meaning from context. Let's look at the meanings. Something related to or derived from living matter, characterized by continuous and natural development. A description of food produced without the use of pesticides and unnatural fertilizers. Of course, the correct definition is characterized by continuous and natural development. That's why we can find in the article that the Silk City is less organic. D. What is the best definition of vertical villages? Now we want to find out the best definition. Here we have 3 definitions. We are going to choose the correct one. Let's read the definitions first. The equivalent of several residential areas within a tall buildings, the equivalent of several villages aligned, the equivalent of several villages on an upward slope. You know vertical villages, we have studied it, and you can take a look at the article, scan it, find the find vertical villages, and then contextualize, deduce the meaning from, or find out the meaning from context. The meaning, of course, is the equivalent of several residential areas within a tall building. That's why it is called vertical. It's not horizontal. Vertical is the opposite of horizontal. Writing. We move on to exercise 5. Post reading. Before reading and trying to do this exercise, let's study some summary tips and techniques. So in order to summarize text, I advise you to follow these instructions. First, read the instructions or question carefully. Be careful when you read them. Highlight the major ideas in the text. Make simple and meaningful sentences. Here you have to paraphrase. We call this paraphrasing. Avoid repetition in the sentences. Think of suitable and effective linking words. Make sure the sentences are linked logically. Revise your 4-sentence paragraph. So after you have read the instructions carefully, you do these things in order to summarize correctly. What is paraphrasing? Now we have the word paraphrasing. It means expressing what is written in a short, clear, and different way. You do not use the same words given in the article. You do not copy-paste the sentences. Paraphrasing shows that you have read and understood the original text rather than copying and pasting it. Paraphrasing means to write the meaning of a message in your own words. So you have to use your own words. You should change the words and the structure. So there are 2 things to change: the words and the structure of the original text while maintaining its original ideas. You have to keep the original ideas. Do not change the ideas, just change the words and the structure. Things you must not do, we call them don'ts. So don't do the following things. Don't change the original meaning of the sentences. You should keep the original meaning of the sentences. Don't include irrelevant information or specific details. Don't also include figures, dates, because these are details. Don't write less or more than 4 sentences. So you are asked to write 4 sentences, So don't write less or more. Don't write 3 sentences. Also, you must not write 5 sentences. Don't change the format. No separated sentences. So the format is a paragraph. Then you have to write a paragraph. Now this is exercise 5. Look, let's read the instructions carefully. Look back at the article on page 54. Summarize the differences between Silk City and other modern cities. So we are going to write about the differences between Silk City and other modern city. Don't use bullet points. You have to write a paragraph. So go back to the article, try to find the 4 ideas, underline them, paraphrase the ideas, use suitable linking words, and write a paragraph. Thank you for listening. See you.